Hi, my name is Kendra Antel, and I'm a doctoral candidate at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas in the Department of Early Childhood, Multilingual, and Special Education. My poster presentation is on my dissertation research, coaching provided via video conferencing to caregivers of children with autism. Including families in early intervention can extend longevity of interventions and provide additional learning opportunities, increase social and emotional well-being for the child and their family, and lead to improved academic outcomes. Providing caregivers with opportunities to learn and apply strategies with their children can lead to capacity building. And when caregivers build capacity, they are able to generalize strategies to other areas. Interventions occurring in the natural environment may be more effective than interventions implemented only by service providers. However, a majority of early intervention research involving alternative and augmentative communication occurs in the school and clinical settings and is implemented by teachers, teaching staff, and researchers. Increased access to and familiarity with technology provides early childhood professionals with the opportunity to connect with parents remotely. The purpose of this study is to investigate the effectiveness of video-only training and coaching provided via video conferencing to caregivers of young children with autism to improve caregivers' capacity to support their children's learning. The following research questions were presented. First, is there a functional relation between coaching provided via video conferencing and the fidelity of implementation of PECs for caregivers of children with autism? Is there a functional relation between the number of coaching sessions and the reported levels of caregiver confidence? And what are the effects of a caregiver-implemented intervention provided via video conferencing and the use of PECs requesting in young children with autism? For this study, 5 caregiver and child dyads will be used. Caregivers have a child meeting the criteria, have access to Wi-Fi and a device capable of video conferencing, and can speak, read, and write in English. Children are between the ages of 3 and 5, have an educational and/or medical diagnosis of autism, use 5 or less spoken words to communicate, and are not using PECs at home. A multiple probe baseline across participants' design will be used. The study will occur online, with caregivers joining via video conference or accessing resources online. For this study, 2 levels will be used. First, training is provided to the caregiver, and in phase 1, this is video and resource sharing, and in phase 2, coaching. And then the caregiver will implement those learned strategies to provide PECS training to their child. Again, the caregiver receives the video training to implement PECS, and then the caregiver implements PECS with the child for 5 sessions. After 5 sessions, the coaching component is added, and the caregiver will join a video conference, receive one-on-one coaching, then implement PECS with their child, and then receive follow-up coaching for 5 sessions. To answer the research questions, the data will be collected on the following dependent variables. First, on caregiver fidelity of implementation. Then on caregiver confidence, which will be self-reported at the beginning of each session using a 3-item survey. And lastly, data will be collected on the percentage of PECS requests made by the child. During phase 1, the caregiver watches the training video, and they also have access to additional resources that are shared. The video will include presentation slides providing the background of PECS, phases of PECS, and how to implement PECS, and also video examples. In phase 2, a coaching component will be added. The caregiver will join a video conference session, watch an observation, which will be a recording of their previous session with the coach. The coach will prompt the caregiver to reflect on how they did, provide feedback, and then prompt the caregiver to engage in joint planning. And then the caregiver will practice PECS with their child with the coach watching. And at the end of the session, the coach will provide immediate feedback on how the caregiver did in implementing PECS with their child. The study is currently awaiting IRB approval. However, the following are hypothesized. Caregiver confidence will increase as caregivers are provided with training. Caregiver fidelity of implementation will increase as caregivers have more opportunities to practice and apply learned strategies. And it's also hypothesized that the percentage of correct picture requests made by children will increase after the introduction of PECS training delivered by their caregiver. Additionally, a mixed methods approach will be used to collect social validity data, and a focus group will occur at the end of the study. The purpose of the focus group is to gather additional information on how to better support caregivers, and it is hypothesized that the focus group will provide us with some feedback on how to do that. So how can early intervention providers like teachers and early interventionists work collaboratively with families of children with autism? And how can classroom teachers utilize technology to connect with their families and connect with their child's home environment? And which factors determine acceptability of caregiver coaching and support? Thank you for watching my presentation. A PDF of the complete poster will be provided as a separate attachment. And if you have any questions, please do reach out to me.